What's up, you guys? Happy day. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing start to your summer, y'all. I still can't believe it's summertime, child, okay? And hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Let me do this right, hold up. Good morning! How your baby daddy, your sister, and your cousin I'm doing? And your hubby too. How y'all living, fam? It is another amazingly beautiful day up in this beat. And it's time for another blizzard. You guys, hopefully you guys are having a great start to now summertime, child. Okay, I still can't believe we're here. Okay, I'm still shooketh that this year went by super fast. Comment down below if you feel like this year went by super fast. It did for us, okay? And honestly, I felt like all year I was one, running on fumes, and two, just going through the motions and all in between trying to be as present as possible, child, okay? And just trying to take in all of the memories as I go. Okay, look. It's been a crazy last few weeks, okay? Hopefully you guys had a chance to see my last vlog of Jayla's performance, child, okay? She had an entire gymnastics showcase on her own solo showcase because of all the hard work she's put in to her gymnastics this year. And y'all, it was absolutely incredible. So if you haven't checked out the video, I will make sure to put it somewhere up here, okay? Check out the last video before this and you will see all that she did because it was amazing, guys, okay? Anyway, you guys, y'all, look, it's officially summertime and the kids are officially out of school, okay? We are in the thick of it, child, okay? Because even though there's a little less hustle and bustle right now because kids are out of school, we don't have to be up as early. We ain't gotta be up at the booty crack because the kids have to be up at the booty crack of dawn to be at school, okay? And then, of course, they have a gazillion and one activities. You guys know they have been extremely busy this year. But we're about to go into another busy season for the kids, okay? Because this is my favorite time of year, okay? This is the time of year, one, because of summer, my favorite time, right? In addition to spring. Y'all know I love spring for so many different reasons, my birthday and all the things. But child, summertime is also another one of my favorite times. One, because obviously less hustle and bustle school-wise and all the other things. Vacations, beautiful weather, all that. But the other thing that I love about summertime is, child, this is when I really map out what I'm gonna do to get the kids ready for all that's coming up in their next year of school, okay? In every way, shape, and form, educationally, and all the stuff, okay? I don't know why I'm a nerd, y'all know I'm a nerd, okay? So this is the time of year that I like to kind of map out what they're gonna be doing, map out what we're gonna do as far as vacations and all the fun things too, right? It's all the play dates, it's all the get-togethers and all of that, but I'm also really excited because I'm really just trying to map out what it is that the kids are gonna be really just doing this summer that's gonna prepare them for third grade, if you can believe it. I still can't believe our kids are in third grade. Like, we're here now, okay? They're gonna be 9 this year, you guys. Like, look how long y'all have been a part of our fam bam, okay? And for those of y'all that were here before, kids, BK, shout out to every single one of y'all too, okay? God, it's just crazy. Anyway, but yeah, so I'll share with you guys as I go what I am doing for both of the kiddos, okay? But there's a lot of changes that we are going to make this year. And they are very, very individualized this year, okay? Because there are a lot of things going on with both kids and they do things differently. They have different personalities, they have different likes and dislikes. They both learn similarly, yet differently, okay? And like I said, I just want to prepare them for what they have coming up. I still have not given you a full-on update, and I probably should in this video give you an update on what's going on with Jax. Actually, let me do that right now. Reason being, okay, because obviously I've shared with you guys a recent update with Jayla and her recent diagnosis. Again, thank you guys so much for the love you guys shared on that video and all the DMs and the messages and all of that. I also know that I've gotten a lot of questions and all of the things requesting that I kind of share some of the things that I'm doing with Jayla, how to tap into some of the resources and the organizations and the services that we're going to be tapping into for Jayla, and we've started doing exactly that. So I will share those things along my journey with you guys, just so if you guys are going through this exact same journey, you guys might be able to tap into those things too. But since you guys know all of that, let me tell you about Jax. Okay, so I'm trying to go big, okay? This happened just a couple of months ago, maybe 2-3 months ago. But one early morning, we're getting the kids ready for school, okay? And I'm emptying out the kids backpacks and their folders and all that type of stuff. And they have a take-home folder they bring home every single day that has paperwork we need to sign, homework assignments that they might have done and got, you know, scored on that, you know, we can keep or whatever, paperwork from the teachers, that type of thing, right? And that particular morning, I didn't have a chance to, I hadn't had a chance the night before to empty out their backpacks like I typically do. So that particular morning, I was just emptying them out very, very quickly, okay? Because we were in a rush to get them to school on time. I needed to empty them out and then pack their lunches and snacks and all the things. As I open up Jackson's folder in his backpack, I discover a permission slip in his backpack, okay? And so here I am thinking that it's probably a field trip or whatever, because they had a field trip coming up, so field trip or whatever the case may be. And I go ahead and very quickly read the letter, to literally bawl my eyes out 2 seconds later, because the permission slip was a permission slip requesting my permission to allow Jaxson to take part in a gifted enrichment program at his school, okay? At the request of not only the gifted learning teacher, but also his actual second grade teacher, okay? And I immediately bawled my eyes out, okay? For so many different reasons. One, I'm so incredibly proud of him, as I am with both of my kids. Two, he's been working so flipping hard at school. He's always been a super hard worker, just like Jayla. And he's just always just been a gifted child, okay? If you followed our journey for a while, you guys have caught on to it. His teachers have always said this. He's been always spoken very highly of. He's always tested extremely high on standardized tests. He has several throughout the course of his years in school. He has at least 2 standardized tests he has every single year. He has scored in the 90-something percentile on both math and reading on his standardized tests, literally since he started taking them a couple years back. He's just been absolutely incredible, okay? And we're just so proud. We're so proud, right? But this particular time, the permission slip was to request my permission to allow him to take part in a gifted enrichment program at his school, okay? And it's basically because of what he's been doing in his classroom, the schoolwork he's been doing, the scores on his standardized tests, and all of the things, okay? So it came as a recommendation from his teacher, and that's why I got the permission slip, so I could allow him to be a part of it. I immediately bawled my eyes out. Now understand, the funniest thing about this is that as I'm bawling my eyes out, of course, the kids hear me start bawling, okay? They don't see me take it out the folder, and Jaxson had no idea what I was reacting to. But he did know about this, okay? Because his teacher had talked to him about it, but he forgot to tell me, okay? He's so nonchalant about everything. So he literally forgot to tell me, okay? And so I'm bawling my eyes out. I call Juice immediately. I'm like, Juice! And I'm bawling my eyes out. He said, what's wrong? He's thinking there's an emergency, something happened, whatever. And I tell him, and he's literally ecstatic, okay? Then Jaxson and Jayla come in the room, and we just shower Jaxson with love. The three of us just shower him with love, you guys. Because one thing about Jaxson, and I'm sure you can probably tell, he's extremely goal-oriented. It's really a big drive and motivation behind all that he does, not only in sports, but in school as well. He's just the type of person, he just loves a challenge. And from the minute we knew there was a gifted program, which we just recently found out about at his school, over this past year, when he heard about it, because he has a couple friends that are in it that are older than him, at his school, he told me, literally told me, that one of his goals was to get into the gifted program, okay? And of course, I was ecstatic that he wanted to do it, that he was driven to do it, and that he's motivated to do it. And so, of course, I'm gonna always encourage that, right? But never gonna put pressure on him to do it. Never gonna do that. I never wanna put that type of pressure on him, because honestly, we are so proud of both kids, and I just want him to just do his very best. There's no expectation of him getting into any of that, because I already know he's doing what needs to be done. He's putting in the work, okay? He's excelling in school. He's excelling in his work, right? I mean, one of the things that, you know, we love is just how loving and giving he is and how much of a hard worker he is. His teacher is just recently told us that he has become one of his helpers in the class. So when he's done with tests or whatever the case may be, he will literally help other kids on their assignments and worksheets and that type of thing during class. And the teachers allow him to do it because it's just really great to see it, you know? And so there's a couple kids in his class that he actually helps out with math and in some of the reading and writing things in his class. And so the teachers love it. They literally encourage it. And it's actually one of the big things that they spoke of when we've recently gone to one of his last parent-teacher conference meetings, right? So it's just awesome to hear and awesome to see. He does that a lot here with Jayla at home too, and it's been amazing, and Jayla loves it. Anyway, of course, I signed the permission slip, and he's been doing the enrichment program at his school. He was doing it all of this past few months, okay? Soon after that, not long after that, we received an email, and it was from the gifted teacher at his school who runs the program for the larger gifted program at his school. And she emailed us to ask to see if she could actually test him to get him into the larger gifted program at his school, okay? And essentially, because I didn't know what this meant at the time, essentially what that essentially means is that if he does get into the program itself, he will actually be in the gifted learning program for the rest of his scholastic career, okay? So not just in grade school, but middle school and high school and beyond, right? And so when I got that email, that happened maybe about 3 weeks after he started doing the enrichment program, again, we were ecstatic, we were elated and all the things, okay? But the one thing I didn't do is I didn't tell him that I received that email, nor did I tell him that he was going to be getting evaluated for the gifted program at his school, because I don't want to put extra pressure on him unnecessarily, because if he doesn't get in or he misses it by a little bit or whatever the case may be, I just don't want him to ever feel let down or feel, you know, disappointed in himself, because he's already excelling and we're proud of him, and that's all that matters. I just want him to be proud of himself, right? Daddy kept that to ourselves. Daddy and I kept that to ourselves, okay? But we did know that it was coming, that this evaluation was coming. So of course we gave them permission. Of course we are excited. And so from that point forward, we waited until the time came for the evaluations to Jaxson and Jayla both coming down with influenza B. Okay, it literally took the entire house out except me. The kids got it first, and it literally took them out to the point where they were out of school for an entire week, the week that he was supposed to take the evaluations to get into the program, okay? Which of course we were nervous about, because I knew that it was approaching the last portion of the school year, and I knew there was probably going to be a certain allotted amount of time that they would have to test him, but I'm never going to send him to school sick. You already know that, right? So of course I reached out. I asked if there was a possibility that, you know, he could wait another week or so until he gets better to take his test, and they absolutely accommodated that and were great about it. So, you know, took care of the kids, did all the things, and the following week, still dealing with the aftermath of influenza B, even though we took them to the doctor and they were cleared to go back to school. They actually got tested and all the things, and they were cleared to go back to school. He was now in the week that he had to take his test, okay? So I basically spoke to Jaxson. I let him know that he is going to be taking some evaluations similar to what he's done in his standardized testing. It's going to be a little bit different than what he's accustomed to, because these gifted tests they're crazy. It's IQ tests and it's all these things, and they're extremely advanced. Very, very different than the standardized tests he's accustomed to. I did not tell him that he was doing this to get into the actual larger gifted program, but that I just wanted him to do his best, right? Work hard, do your best, don't leave any answers unanswered, okay? And take your best educated guess possible, okay? Don't just make a guess, but do the best that you can, okay? Make an educated guess, and that's it, okay? And we're proud of you regardless, right? So for him, he knew of the fact that he was gonna be taking these evaluations, because I didn't want him to just be blindsided by it, because he was actually gonna get pulled from his regular classes to take this evaluation. But I wanted to make sure that he knew that he was taking a form form of an evaluation. And so I just positioned it like he's gonna be taking an evaluation in general because he's in the enrichment program, okay? And he was actually excited about taking it. However, he was still dealing with the aftermath of influenza B. And even though they were cleared to go to school, I almost called him in and Jayla in that particular day because they were still really groggy from being sick. They did not have anything else going on. They were just really groggy. He was lethargic, you guys, okay? But he wanted to go to school, and so did Jayla. So they went, okay? Fast forward a couple days to me receiving an email from the teacher letting me know that he not only passed his evaluation, okay, but he scored in the 99th percentile on his evaluation. Suffering like a dog after having had influenza B, okay? Not knowing what he was stepping into, but just doing the best he could on the test, okay? Not only that, but I also received the scores that he received on his most recent standardized tests. I knew he scored high because his teacher emailed me to let me know how well he did, but I didn't know what percentile he was in. But on his standardized test that he took previously, 2 weeks or so previous to this, or a few weeks previous to that, he scored in the 96th percentile in his math portion and scored in the 94th percentile in his reading portion for his standardized tests. And these are just the regular standardized tests that all of the second grade kids take throughout the course of the year, okay? So it was just everything to get this email. Now, he's not done yet. He still has some more evaluations before he's officially let into the gifted program at his school. So he still has a little bit to go. But we are ecstatic, you guys. Like, over the moon happy, so incredibly proud of him. And he still doesn't even know that this is what's happening. He just knows he scored really high and he's really proud of himself and he's so happy about it. So I did share that with him. We absolutely celebrated him, but he didn't know and still doesn't know that he was taking a test to get into the gifted program and that he still has to take another test. He just is gonna know that he's taking an evaluation like he has with all the other things he does, standardized tests, etc. And we're just gonna encourage him to do his best. And if he gets in, he gets in. We'll be ecstatic, and if not, it's okay, you know, because we're proud of him anyway, okay? So that's where we are at now, okay? So basically everything that we're gonna be doing this summer for both of the kids is really to prepare them for everything that they're going to be looking forward to in third grade, scholastically and otherwise, okay? And we're definitely going to be having a fun summer, so lots of fun. So stay tuned for all the vlogs coming up. But I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you guys too, because I know I gave you guys an update on Jayla, and I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys an update on Jax, because I've been talking about giving you this update forever and I still hadn't done it yet. So didn't even have the intention on sitting here and having that conversation with y'all, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. So yeah, we're just so excited about how well the kids have done this year. Jayla is reading at her level in school. Understand that she has been considered a 1.5 years delayed, and she is considered a child with a learning disability, and obviously all the other things. Of course, she's recently been diagnosed with autism, so we've had our recent RED meeting. We did go through all of those things as well, and I'll go into more details about that as time goes. But it went incredible. I've gotten her tapped into some things in home that we're going to be working with. We are working with currently not only our advocate that we have for her now too, and she's been incredible, but we do have a representative that we work with that we do some in-home with for Jayla that we've been doing every other week here at home. That's also been incredible. I've been just tapping into that and learning, and Juice has been learning too. So we're doing everything that we possibly can, and there's so much more I'm going to share with you guys, but I at least wanted to give you guys all of those updates because we are incredibly proud. So that's what's going on with Jax. That's the update on Jax, and that's where the kids are at now. So yeah, so I'm in the process of a lot of things, right? We've signed the kids up for a lot of different camps this year. I'm doing it a little differently. Typically, or I've done this in the past, previous to this, I've done it where the kids are in camp, the same camp for several weeks, and it's, you know, like a full day camp, you know, from whatever time to whatever time. And what I found the first year that I did that the kids got burnt out very, very quickly, and they felt like they were going to school because we still had to get up early, even though it wasn't as early as their school time, right? But they still had to get up early. They still had to go to bed early. You know, they still had a regimen they had to stick with. I still had to do the whole breakfast, you know, early morning breakfast and lunch and snacks and all the things, and getting their clothes ready the night before, you know, the usual stuff and things. But they just felt like they were going to school, and so there were days they were coming home after, you know, their camp, even though they had a great time and they loved their camp. And say, you know, can we take tomorrow off? You know what I mean? Can we sleep in a little bit tomorrow? Can we hang out a little late tonight and watch some movies? And, you know, the things that kids like to do during the summer. So this happened a couple years ago. And so since then, I've made it a point to do things a little bit differently. And so I did this last year and it worked out great. And so this year again, we're going to do it this way. So first of all, Jayla's going to be attending summer school for the first few weeks of June. Actually, we're in June now, but these next few weeks here, she's going to be taking summer school. Jackson's going to be taking an enrichment class at the same exact school at the same exact time as Jayla while she's in summer school. So they're going to be doing that. It's only, you know, a few hours. It's not a full day thing. So they still have their afternoons to be able to just play and have fun and play video games, and us to go to the pool and go do all the fun things. Okay, so that we kind of break up some of that stuff, right? I don't want to make it too taxing for them because they are on summer break, and I want it to still be fun, right? In addition to the fact that I've got the kids signed up for a lot of different camps this year, just as I did last year. So the kids are going to be doing all kinds of things in the activities they enjoy, right? So Jayla's going to do some gymnastics stuff and some dance stuff and some play stuff. And Jackson's going to be doing a lot of basketball because that was what he's most tapped into, right? But he's also doing some other things as well, some enrichment things and stuff, all of which are going to be broken up into different weeks. So they have days and weeks in between where it's just me and the kids hanging out and able to do the things that we want to do at our own free will. So that's kind of how we're doing things this summer. So this summer's going to be all over the place. We do have a vacation planned this summer too. We might have another trip planned on top of that, but we definitely have at least one trip planned this summer. Yeah, lots and lots of fun, lots of play dates and all that stuff. So that's where we are right now. I know that was a lot, and my apologies for that, but I at least wanted to give you guys that update to kind of let you guys know like what's going on, the update on Jax, how we're planning out the summer. Another thing that I'm going to be doing this year is I am going to be I've made some changes in their routine. You guys know that they've been getting tutored for the last few years, okay? Pretty much since they started grade school, I've had them with a tutor, and it was just me being proactive. It wasn't something that they necessarily needed because we didn't know what they would be doing scholastically per se, starting in first grade, right? Kindergarten and beyond. But I want to be proactive. I've always wanted to be proactive, and it is a year-round thing. So they still get tutored throughout summer as well, and that's always been the case. And that will continue to be the case this summer as well. However, they each are going to have a different tutor because they're at a stage now where I'm seeing more of the fact that since they're older now, they both learn very similarly and very differently as well. And so I want them to be with someone that taps into how they learn the best, okay? For instance, I'm an audio-visual learner, okay? Jayla does extremely well with repetition, okay? Jaxson is extremely analytical. They learn very differently, but also kind of similarly as well. And so also they're at different stages in their learning journey. And so I want each of the people that they work with to work with them, one, at their level, okay, and in the best way that it's going to work with them and resonate with them and be the most impactful for them, where they retain it the best, okay? And of course, you always know I want to avoid the summer slide, okay? Jaxson is also very much wanting to get ahead of his class a bit. So he's literally said he wants to start doing some higher learning math, right? So he wants to do fractions and division and decimal points and all of those types of things. He loves that stuff. You know what I mean? This kid likes to do Sudoku puzzles and things like that. That's just his jam. And so he wants to do that. He wants to read more chapter books. He wants to do more of those things, and he wants to elevate his learning. And I love that for him. So the teacher that, or the tutor that I've put him with, because he's just started with a new tutor who is an incredible match for him. Actually works with gifted kids, and so it's literally the perfect match. They actually had their first session just about a week ago or so, and she's been amazing so far. He's literally been just pulling out his workbooks and stuff that she brought over this past week and just doing it on his own just because he loves to do it. And so wonderful for him. And then Jayla, she already has a tutor, but there are a couple people that I've been recommended that we are going to be working with here over the next couple of weeks to see who best matches her, because we're probably going to make a little shift with that as well. Because again, I want whoever it is that she's with, one that works, I want that person to be familiar with working with autistic children, and children who have ADHD and that type of thing, right? The two that she had previous, who has been incredible, by the way, doesn't necessarily work with children with special needs. So I want the person that works with Jayla to also be able to work with Jayla and then also be able to handle her temperament when she is frustrated, and that will really help things resonate with her as well. And then you guys already know I'm also going to be working with them, as I usually do, because I consider myself a homeschool mom, even though my kids go to school outside of the home too. I've always homeschooled my kids throughout the year, and of course during the summer as well, so I'm going to be doing that too. But I'm really excited that this is kind of where we're at, because I really feel like this is going to be amazing for both kids this year too. So I'll share some of that stuff with you too, and kind of let you guys know how that all goes. But Jackson's match is perfect, and then Jayla is going to be doing that here very soon, so I'll let you guys know how that all pans out. Well, you guys, look, the kids need me there squabbling over PS5 games, okay, child, and trying to take turns, and it's not working out, child, okay? Listen, I hope you guys are having a great start to your summer. Just want to give you guys an update on Jaxson and all of the things, you guys, okay? I couldn't be prouder of the kids, you guys. They're just doing amazing, and I'm just excited about this next leg of their journeys. It's gonna be a crazy busy but fun summer. And yeah, you guys, while you guys are here, thumbs up this video, subscribe if you guys have not already. Welcome to our new fam bam that are here. Shout out to every single one of y'all that have been part of my fam bam for all this time, even BK, before kids, child, okay? I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Bye.